Hi, I'm Blane,
And I'm Jonathan.
and welcome to another episode of Textbook Technique, a comprehensive guide to classical ballet.
In today's episode, we're going to be discussing tips and tricks for different exercises at the bar.
John and I are going to show different combinations at the bar and stop after each combination to explain what we did.
The first exercise that all ballet dancers do at bar is called pliés. Here, we just very basically bend and straighten our knees to warm up our inner thighs and our turnout. Blane is going to demonstrate here. He is now in first position. This is a demi-plié, keeping his heels on the ground. He's now going to do a full grand plié. His butt is still tucked under, and he places his heels back. Now he's going to do a slight back bend just to warm up the back. And he's bending forward, also warming up the hamstrings, very important here. He goes to second position. Heels right under his shoulders. Notice the turnout, his legs are still 180 degrees. And here he is for a grand plié. Good. And he's bending to the side, warming up the sides of the core. Notice how his arms are still very long in positions. Good. And now he's going to fourth position. Good. Notice how his feet are crossed, toe to heel, as if he was in fifth position. Very good. His knees are going sideways, they're not rolling forward. Very good. He's going to warm up his back some more. Warming up his hamstrings. And now into fifth position. Look at that turnout. Good. Heel to toe, heel to toe. His knees are very straight when he comes up from the demi-plié and his grand plié. Notice how soft and supple his arms and hand movements are. And here he's going to warm up his calves with a susu and his long arms in fifth position. Demi-plié to finish. Wow. Did you notice during the pliés how Blane used some extra upper body movements? Those are called combres. They're used to warm up the back. Here he is combreing forward. It can also be called port-de-bras, as he's about to do a port-de-bras back. Yeah. These are very important to get the entire body moving.
The next combination I'm about to do is called tendus. In tendus, I work the foot from the arch to the toes and back into a position in each direction.
Here he's starting in first position, doing a tendu front, again. He's doing two en croix. En croix is the French term for front, side, and back. Here he is. His arm is in a nice second position, bottom leg turned out, and one more set to the side. And now he's going to continue fifth position. Notice how he brings his toes back to make a nice, flat fifth position with toes to heels, toes to heels. And to the back, his toe is crossed right behind his center line. Not too far out. Very good. And he's going to do it one more time, but this time with the arms. This time his arm is in fifth. And as he goes to the side, he carries his arm to the side. And to the back, he does what's called an allongé. It's a long position. Good. And the last two to the side. Notice how in tendus, how he works the entire foot, starting from the top of the toes all the way down, and then flexing his toes to come back in all positions. Very good. We call this massaging the floor, really pushing down and using all the muscles. Now, just do tendu front for me, Blane. There are a few different stylistic ways of the position of where the tendu should be. In the balancing technique, The big toe is directly in front of the center line. In many other classical styles, the toe is slightly askew, in line with the heel, and the same applies to the back. The next combination of barre that we are going to do is called dégagés. Dégagés are very similar to tendus, except the toe comes off of the floor just a few inches. So here, take notice of the tempos, the different tempos that Blane executes his dégagés with. He's going to do one slow and two quick, en croix, front, side, and back. Slow and two quick. Notice how fast his toes are. As soon as they leave the ground, they're pointed. And as soon as he leaves the ground, his knees are straight, and he crosses from the top of the thighs while maintaining 180-degree turnout.
The next combination we're going to show you is called rond de jambes. In rond de jambes, I circle the foot all the way to the back and back through first position to the front. Also, you can reverse it. Pay close attention to my standing leg, how it's pulled up, lengthened, and strong, my upper body, and the relationship all of these have with the active leg.
Here, Blane is doing what is called an en dehors rond de jambe, which means he is circling away from his body, and now he is circling back in. This is called en dedans. Notice how his hips stay very smooth and quiet relative to his upper body. Here also, very difficult. This is called a rond de jambe en l'air, where he brings the foot above the ground. Very good. Maintaining 180-degree turnout. And this is Blane balancing in retiré, which is where the foot is brought up to the knee. Now he's in souci. The next exercise we are going to do is called frappe. In French, frappe means to strike. So you will notice Blane, how he strikes and makes a sound with his foot. He's going to do 4 to the front, 4 to the side. Notice how he points his toes immediately and how fast his legs move. That is called a frappe.
Notice my knee when I do frappes and in placement with my hip. My knees and my hip are turned out completely at 180 degrees in a neutral position every time I come back in for frappe, in each direction.
The next exercise we are going to do is called adagio. In this exercise, we slow it down, very calm and soft, so that we take our time and grow through all the movements, as opposed to frappes, which was very fast. Here, Blane is going to demonstrate a développé, which in French, well, that's the French term, and in English it means to develop. So here, he's going to go up to a passe, and then extend front. This is like a tendu, but way above his hip. Now to the side, he goes to passe, and then he straightens his leg to the side, bringing it back down to a tendu. Nice, perfect fit. Développés to a passe, and a nice high arabesque line is what that is called. And then one last one to the side. Notice how he maintains his turnout, even though he's lifting his leg.
During développé, it's important to remember to constantly grow from your hips, your back, and your shoulders. When I do développé front, notice how I'm constantly growing all the way through the top of my head. I'm not slouching, I'm not rolling my shoulders. The next and last combination that I'm going to do at barre today is called grand battement. When you grand battement, you lift your leg to 90 degrees or higher with a lot of energy and power.
Notice when he goes to the front, he maintains his turnout, and now to the side, he maintains the integrity of his hip. To the back, notice how his back doesn't pitch forward, and then his last 2 to the side with his toes pointed. Final. This is called a attitude derrière.
John and I want to thank you for watching this episode of Textbook Technique. In the next episode, we're going to show you what comes after barre, which is center. Stay tuned.